and I'll take your pain, baby. I'll wear it out like a raider in the dark. I'll be coming to light your spark. No need to hide, baby. No need to doubt. When you face a closing door, I'll be showing you so much more. When you need it, know that I'll be around, not leaving. When you need it, when you need it, when you need it.
They say when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. Easier said than done, though, especially if you want to start your own business and nothing wants to work out. But I have a solution tonight. I would say in tonight's show, we meet the ever sparkly Mrs. Kenny Jackson Williams. Welcome, Kenny. So if your business
Thank you for having me. It's an honor.
This is the lady that you get to sort you out, to get you back on track, I would say. Kenny, I've given you a short intro. And I would like you to share with the rest of the viewers, like a bit of your background before we get into what you're currently doing. Tell them about all the businesses and how you start up before BBC actually, was birthed.
Hi, everybody. And thank you, Liesl, for this amazing opportunity. Congrats on your YouTube channel. You're rooting. We need to, come on, guys, you need to click on subscribe, support this lady. That's what I do. I pump people out. Yes. Click and subscribe and share. Absolutely.
Awesome.
So, hi, everybody. I am Kennethia Jackson Williams. Everybody knows me as Kenny. I'm an entrepreneur. I am a radio content business creator. I was originally a school teacher. I have got 20 odd years experience in the lecturing industry, corporate and government levels, and I love mentoring. I'm a wife of 13 years. I'm a mom to a rowdy 8-year-old and a super confident 11-year-old.
Oh, wow.
And I'm also the founder of Business Breakfast Club, the best networking club in Cape Town.
Yeah.
And that is me in a nutshell. I'm born and bred from Mitchell's Plain. So, woohoo!
Mitchell's Plain girl.
Yes. So, it's an honor to be on this platform. Thank you so much, Liesl, for the opportunity for, just ordinary people that's trying to do extraordinary things. Thank you for the platform and for shining the spotlight on individuals just trying to make a difference out there.
No, it's awesome. It's an honor for me as well. But can you tell me, how did you start BBC? What was, any business, what was the one thing that pushed you to actually move into your purpose?
Wow. So I am a big believer. I love the word mandate.
Yes,
and I believe that BBC, I've done many things over the years. I've started my first business at the age of 16. I started making jewelry, beaded jewelry. I had my first stall at Muizenberg Flea Market. I always studied and I always had a business because my upbringing and my childhood was of such a nature that I knew I had to earn my own bucks to make it out there in this world. I think having a lecturing and facilitating and a mentoring background, it has allowed me to open up KJ Consulting, which is about, nurturing entrepreneurs, holding their hand along the way, and also having my own business with staff and the challenges, we just call Gentle Care Laundry and Dry Cleaners out in Thornton.
Yes.
And so I understand the practical side of business, the day-to-day challenges. I understand business from a classroom theory point of view. And with Business Breakfast Club, it was truly birthed and allows me to do all of my strengths because I thoroughly, from my belly, I believe that BBC is my mandate. And I'm a big believer in passion because I have a passion for what I do. And everybody else out there, if you don't have a passion, you need to align yourself with people that can bring those attributes out in you. So passion plus purpose equals mandate. And for me, Business Breakfast Club, a community of entrepreneurs, is certainly my mandate. And we're making differences out there and we're trying to change the narrative. So It's been a long journey. It's been a long journey, but here we are, and we're still pushing
Persistence.
forward, upward and onward. Absolutely.
Persistence and consistency is key. I can hear in your voice that that's who you are. But also one of your strengths. I would say now a person who's not that confident, who is starting a business, and with the first time round, there's one failure. You know how it goes, and nothing works first time. If you look at all the successful people in the world, they've always tried previous things, but that's the thing, the consistency part. But now you get somebody that fails at their first attempt and doesn't have the courage to move forward. Has there ever been a moment like that where you thought you would give up, or what advice would you give to that person?
I think, not everybody is born with that, or naturally acquires that resilience, that confidence, that good stuff that you need during the tough times.
Yes.
And I am a big believer that when we embark on this journey of entrepreneurship, because remember, when you go for an interview, you are hoping someone choose you.
Yes.
For that particular job, for that particular role. But when you choose entrepreneur, wow, it's a hard choose. It is something that, because you're choosing and you're saying, I'm choosing not to have a set salary at the end of the month. I'm choosing to go knock on doors that seem so overwhelming. I am choosing the unknown, because that is really what entrepreneurship is. And not everybody's is born with that knack to be resilient when they should be, and that is what entrepreneurship forces you to have.
Yeah.
If you are somebody, you have to identify your strengths and weaknesses. If you find that marketing, social media is your strength, you need to make sure that you are spending every day of your time allocating time and playing with your strengths.
Yes.
You've also then got to identify your weaknesses, because entrepreneurship, it forces you, it naturally assumes that you are an amazing record keeper, which is not always the case, that you have the most amazing, incredible accounting skills. All of a sudden, you should be a social media guru, marketing, and so forth. There are so many roles. You have to identify what you're not good at, and then align yourself with people that can assist you, that can help you consult and grow your business. If you find that money is an issue, and most times it is.
It is, yeah.
Approach people, consult with people, call people, pop them an email and say, I don't have the funds, but I do require your service, and I have something I think is of value to you. Yeah. Can we barter? Can we do an exchange of services? You will be absolutely gobsmacked at the amount of yeses you will receive, because they can see this is somebody that really needs their service. And networking is such an interesting game. The ripple effect of assisting someone is incredible. It might not pay you, absolutely. It might not pay you immediately. Absolutely. Paying it forward, the ripple effect of a good deed is just, I've been witness to this ripple effect. And I would say, don't be shy to knock on doors. Rejection is part of the game. So if you are a startup, you should know that you're going to be disappointed, and it's okay. You're going to come across some people that's going to look down on you. And because you're a startup, they're not going to buy into your concept, into your service, and not support you. They won't even click on like or comment on social media.
Yes.
But certain people want to collaborate with you, connect with you, once they see you've achieved the level of success.
Yes, totally.
As an entrepreneur, don't forget the people that clicked on like, that popped a comment, that sent you a referral, that was kind enough to reach out to you and say, well, what do you think about this? I think you're doing great. Don't forget about those little mentors that came along beside you to help you succeed. Very important.
Very important. And then when I met you the first time, it was at your BBC, one of your BBC sessions, and you were a ball of energy. I immediately connected with your energy. Yes. I'm so glad I went to it, because it was like sort of a time where where I was not feeling so well. I mean, not good at that time. But
Yeah.
I want to ask now about BBC. Is there a specific prerequisite to join the BBC? Can you tell us about that process, maybe?
With BBC, you know, BBC's been around now for almost 3 years. And for the first 2 years, it was a passion project. I would find these coffee shops and these events, and, you know, the cook sisters, the coffees, everything would come out of my pocket, because I was just so determined to make sure that, you know, people can gather. For me, that just brought me so much joy. My heart overflowed, and people they would meet each other, they would make connections, they would invite each other to events and so forth. I think the last year there's been a change in the way that I've embraced BBC, because I've realized that BBC is growing at such a crazy pace, and the momentum. We've outgrown little halls and coffee shops. We're constantly looking for venues to accommodate our crowd. And as you have witnessed, I think it was back in February at an outdoor BBC. It's high energy, it's high paced. It's certainly not a boring event where you're being sort of mentored just for 3 hours. So I had to think of ways for Business Breakfast Club to thrive without a penny income.
Yes.
Which is very important. And for many entrepreneurs, you've got to quickly separate your personal bank account from your business income, because the moment you've got that all going in the same account, you are in for some trouble, because you actually not going to, your business is going to be around for 2 years and you're not going to have a cent to show.
Wow. Yeah, that's true.
So we have to, and that is, so what I was teaching the entrepreneurs, I wasn't implementing for the first 2 years of BBC. And I had to think, well, first of all, we need our own account. Business Breakfast Club needs its own income streams to keep the club going. And we came up with a BBC membership. So we have our events. Our events is open to everybody, whether you an upcoming hustler, an existing entrepreneur, an NPO, an NGO, a service provider, an agent, a rep. There is place at BBC for everyone. So the events and the little profit that we make from every single ticket at the door, that now goes into our kitty. All of a sudden, Business Breakfast Club can now get our own mics, our own printers. We are reinvesting in BBC. So now the concept, and we are growing. We then also came up with a membership, and for anybody that's attended a BBC event is eligible to become a member. Why become a member? So if you look at, we've got almost 1,000 followers on Facebook. We are a community of entrepreneurs, but the BBC membership gives me a focus group to focus on.
Yeah.
So everything that comes through BBC will go first through the membership group.
Yeah.
Everybody goes on a group. They keep the referral system within that group. Yeah. I often get asked by radio presenter, television shows, that they're always looking for people to interview.
Yes, yes.
And so where do I pull the resources from the membership? Anything that's a promo that's offered, any opportunity that comes through BBC goes straight to the membership. Our membership is very affordable. We're looking at 300 Rand for the year, which comes to 25 Rand a month. But all those 25 Rands goes into our kitty. So when BBC decides we are moving next month to Grabouw, how do we afford this?
Yes.
It comes from our kitty, and it makes things possible and allows us to just impact more people.
And to grow nationally and maybe take it globally. Who knows?
Absolutely. So we're constantly looking at ways of making our events bigger and getting on the most incredible speakers that can add value to the audience, that can educate our BBC guests in terms of marketing, social media, record keeping, and also we're big on inspiration and motivation.
Yes.
Absolutely. You could be an entrepreneur with R1 million in your account, and you can be the most demotivated person walking around. So at
Because
BBC,
you don't
we
have
try-
anybody supporting you. You don't have that wingle. You don't have that cheerleader person next to you, sort of just pushing you to go, to push
yeah,
the
and
boundaries.
rooting you on.
And rooting you on. But now you obviously on Facebook, on all the social media platforms, if people want to get in touch with you, it's Instagram,
Yes.
TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, all of the above. So get a
All
hold
of the
of Kenny. But now, Kenny, I mean, we had COVID, like COVID affected, I mean, it was here for 2.5 years, I would say just over 2 years. Did it have any effect on your business and how you felt? Was there ever a time that you felt, no, this is not for me?
Wow, that's such an honest question, and it requires an honest answer. Where BBC is concerned, we thrive on the meet and greet engagement. We
Yeah.
thrive on the handshake, on the high five. How are you doing? It's a camaraderie, it's a fellowship. With COVID, we couldn't have any events for
Yeah.
a year and a half. I think I was going through withdrawal symptoms because I need to see people and I need
Touch
to
and feel
engage.
person.
So that affected BBC in a huge way. I call it the COVID holiday, where my own business is concerned with the dry cleaners and laundry. We had 2 branches and were forced to close down a branch, let go of some staff to accommodate. And I think a lot of people was under the impression that once COVID dropped to a certain level and we all could go back to our businesses, that was the end of our problems.
Yes.
One of the things that we personally experienced was a bully landlord. He wanted his rent for all that months that you were closed. He still wanted every single cent, even though a small business was not generating 1 cent. So those are the challenges that some of us just could not recover from. Thankfully, today we still have our regional branch with our regional staff.
Yeah.
Business is not what it used to be, because if you look at the laundromat dry cleaning industry, people would think nothing about dropping their laundry and enjoying their life and pick up the goodies at a later point. But now even a business like a laundromat, spending that money is a luxury now.
Mm.
But we push and carry on. But there was definitely some doubtful moments where I thought, wow, this, it would be easy to just get a job.
Yeah.
And do my 9 to 5.
Yes.
I'll probably go crazy.
Yes.
Listening to the boss all day and sitting behind a laptop.
Be micromanaged or all of those things. No. No, those are I would say
it goes back to having that certain something as an entrepreneur. It is the feeling and that fire in your belly.
Exactly.
To always be resilient, to always thrive when you're not supposed to be thriving, because your test is part of your testimony. And I can look back and say, well, that was a really crappy time.
Yes.
But I did not give up. I had to negotiate my way with suppliers that we owed money to. And like we've been around we've never skipped a payment. I had to go back and look at everything that was good about us and use that to our advantage. Nobody was giving nobody credit, 30 days, nothing. You couldn't operate. But I had to say, well, listen, we've been your customer for a long time. You need to give us what we need, and you need to allow us for 30 days in order to keep us as a customer, because guess what? There's many other suppliers. You decide. So sometimes you have to have that something, like I wouldn't call it an aggressive manner, but you've got to be, hey, I'm here.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Because if you believe in yourself, then you make it easy for other people to believe in you.
And I'm sure everybody have that X factor within them. We just have to take it out. We have to.
I love that word.
We have to take it out. I think one of my friends opened my eyes by saying, we all have everything inside of us. If you look at a tree, after they sculpted it, what does it mean? The tree was there, but somebody had to make it and form it and sculpt it. So we are there. We have all the abilities to become a beautiful sculpture or whatever art.
Absolutely.
So it's
I love that.
I love
I
that
love it. Yes,
the analogy about it. But now I want to ask you, there's no cookie cutter approach in any business, in anywhere in life, for that matter, being a mother, being any role that you perform, there's no cookie cutter, specific process in life. But what is one of the leadership or any advice you would give to somebody starting their own business, being a leader? All of a sudden you are a leader now. So what advice would you give a person?
Yes. I think what has worked for me and still works for me is that I'm never under the impression that I've reached it. I've made it.
Yeah.
I always, because even though you achieve, and some people have got the most amazing accolades, they've got all these degrees behind their names. But never ever, always stay humble, never think that you've arrived.
No.
There's always something to learn. I would like to think that I inspire entrepreneurs. I love to hold their hands and sort of put them under my wing and saying that you're doing this thing wrong, but this is how we're going to do it now. My biggest advice, and then something that I still do on a daily basis, if you are a new entrepreneur, if you're new in this hustling game, you need to quickly have the approach of asking for help all the time, because your strength is your strength. Nobody can improve that, because that is your strength, that is your asset. But you got to be very honest with your weaknesses, and you've got to ask for the help.
Yes.
I have found that just by asking, and sometimes the replies don't come immediately, and it's discouraging. Sometimes you're knocking on doors, you're asking for help, and sometimes we assume we are going to get the help from certain individuals that we think
that was to be your
that we think is going to be there for every season. The entrepreneur, you got to know that some people will stay for the season, and you have to let go in order to allow for the new season to settle in. Wow. There is still people there that you have to meet on your journey. And sometimes as an entrepreneur, as a woman, as a mom, we hold on to things and to people. Your nails is breaking. You are bleeding at your fingertips because you think this is family. This is how it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be. But the quicker you come to the conclusion that you are on this journey and it's up to you to make it or break it, there's no blaming and pointing fingers, but you've got to quickly identify who is for you and who is not for you. And sometimes when we open ourselves, the most amazing, incredible individuals come along on our journey. Softly, they're slipping onto your path, and wow, you've got to embrace that.
Yes.
And you've got to take advantage of and let go. Let go
of what's not needed anymore, I suppose, hey?
Absolutely.
Cut those branches off. But but like I said, we've heard a lot about your amazing career. I'm just in awe with everything. Your personality is just amazing. You're a ball of energy, everything positive. But I want to ask you, you've done a lot already, but what is the future? What's still ahead, would you say, in your head? What is still there in your business?
Wow. For my business, I've got big plans for 2023, and I'd love to encourage everybody that just because you've overcome and we've gone through the post-COVID, don't stop dreaming. Constantly work on that vision board. And part of my goals for 2023 is, I've just mentioned that we closed our one branch of the laundromat business. I would love to expand and reopen the second branch again and get back on track. Where Business Breakfast Club is concerned, we are thriving and and pushing to become the best networking club in Cape Town. For 2023, I would love to set the bar a little bit higher and say, we want to become the best networking club in South Africa. Why not?
And
South Africa.
And then we take on the world.
And we take on the world, absolutely. And unfortunately in life, sometimes you have to make it, you have to show people before you get their buy-in.
Yes.
And I think as you set your goals, just be mindful of who journeyed with you, who has been always the person who is the individuals that is following you on social media, that clicks on like, that comments, that sends you that WhatsApp message, that is always supporting you, even though you don't see people every day, who is out there, and continue to journey with those people that is assisting you in setting your goals. So we are BBC, we're going to be taking over the world.
That's awesome. I'm happy. I'm happy. That's music to my ears to just see people grow and all the positivity and the hope that you create. Is there any last minute or anything that you would like to share with us as a last motivation, or that you would leave the viewers with? Any thoughts?
I would just like any final thoughts? I think, as a mom of two boys and being an entrepreneur, I think for females, the challenges are so hard. At least there are some days that we think, well, how are we going to do this? And I think it's important that as a mom and a wife, entrepreneur, you are constantly thinking of what needs to happen in 5 minutes time, what needs to happen in 5 hours time. Yes. You are running the life of your family from a business perspective. You are supposed to be
level-headed all the time.
Level-headed all the time. But I think it's so important that we have to take those moments, take those times out and admit to ourselves when we are feeling overwhelmed. It could be by our schedule. It could be by individuals. It could be that we haven't learned the art of saying no. And we just, yes. And then you find yourself being burnt out, you're stressed out, you're not sleeping. So my last bit of advice is just to identify when you've reached your ceiling, when you need to just press the pause button, when you need to press the brakes. That's so important, because whoever you are connecting to, whether it's your client, customer, your family, they need 100% of you. Nobody wants to perform all these roles and beautiful responsibilities that we have as women. Nobody wants to run at 40% with all of these.
No, definitely.
So in order for your best self to be out there, be authentic, learn to say no, and just stay true to yourself, because some people will come alongside of you. They want to reshape what you're about. Some people will try to influence you and convince you that maybe your decisions that you've made is maybe not the best.
Yeah.
But if you know you've got passion, purpose, and this is your mandate, and you cannot picture yourself doing anything else, go for it. Stand steadfast in your dream. And moments that you are feeling doubtful, embrace, connect with people like this beautiful lady to give inspiration.
Thank you.
And just connect with people that is out there, because at the end of the day, it's not about money.
No.
It's about making an impact.
Yes.
You are doing a magnificent job of starting this journey. It has its struggles, it has its tribulations, but you know what your goal is all about. And I would love everybody, click on subscribe, support this lady.
Thank you.
Doing. This is going to be the future Oprah Winfrey. Come on now. Absolutely. We claim it, we manifest it, and
we take it.
Everything that you do. Absolutely.
Thank you so much. I would love to keep you on, but we're going to end off tonight's show right there. You had it. You told us like to be authentic, and you taught us to be consistent, and I will take all of this on. But yes, in future, please do keep your calendar open, your diary. I will definitely would love to have you back. Thank you so much. And tonight I would like to end off with Kenny's own, one of her mottos that I read up, and it says, shine bright, like keep shining bright like a floodlight.
Yes.
So everybody, let's keep on shining bright. Have a good evening. Goodbye.
And I'll take your pain.